All right, welcome back. So exciting weekend. We got clean slates all over the place. So we're going to do kind of just like we did with the coaches. I'm going to go down the list of all the great games coming up this weekend, and I want you guys to tell me what your picks are. So let's start with Dallas versus the 49ers. And Sam, I'm going to pause you for a second because I can see you're getting giddy already. And I'm going to start with you, Tommy. What's your pick for Dallas versus San Francisco?
Yeah, it's a hard one to pick because it's going to depend on which Niner team shows up. So I've been telling
Right.
Sam this all week. Nobody wants to play the Niners, and for one reason alone. Every game that the Niners have been in this year, and every game they're going to be in this year, is their game to lose. Meaning, the Niners show up and stop doing dumb stuff. There's nobody in the NFL to beat them. The problem is, as we've seen, even within the 10 wins, like five of those wins were probably even more, probably like seven of them, the Niners were battling themselves and doing dumb stuff. All of their losses, like the Niners and the Titans. Well, let's see. Jimmy's thumb is hurt. He's got the hurt hand. We haven't thrown the ball very well all day. We're coming back from the half. They run down, they score. What should we do the first play? Let's throw the. Oh, look. Well, that didn't really work out very well, did it? Well, son of a gun. Um, Depending on what the team shows up, that's what's going to matter. But there's going to be ways to see this, and this is as granular as I can go with my pick. This is what if the Cowboys score less than 21 points, they lose. If the Niners rush for less than 150 yards, they lose. If both of those things happen, the Niners will win on a field goal. Like, so if the Niners rush less than 150, the Cowboys score less than 21, it'll be one of those things where Robbie Gould will kick either last second or overtime field goal, and that'll be the game. But those the only way you do it. You get Jimmy out there and you start doing this whole like, hey, we're running the ball, great, now let's throw. He's gonna have like four interceptions, and that'll just be it. And if the if the Cowboys do what they ought to do, in my opinion, they do what they ought to do and basically chew the Niners secondary to pieces with the little short 5 to 8 yard routes and just make them start playing up close in the beginning of the game and then start pushing it down the field as the time goes on. They can run the ball zero times and just basically eat up the Niners defense through the air and have 7,000 yards passing and 12 touchdowns in the game. So that's what I'm calling that one as.
All right, Sam.
Okay, well, let me say this. Hold on, wait a minute. It's just really too hot in
Take a
here.
deep breath. Woo. Oh
Let me,
no,
wait a
here we
minute.
go.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, that feels so much better
Dun,
now. Oh,
dun, Cowboy man.
goodness, yeah, this feels so much better. Now, okay, I would say this: the Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game. Our defense is going to make the 49ers one dimensional. We're going to make sure that we stop the run. And then we're going to put the ball in Jimmy's hand and see if he can be able to go again without throwing an interception or doing any dumb things. Or as Tommy say on other episodes, be pretty, play pretty ball. If the 49ers, if we can stop the run and
I say
the
pretty.
49ers play,
It's cute. Cute.
okay, cute
Cute.
and pretty,
No,
same thing.
those are not the same thing.
Okay,
Definitely
cute.
not the same.
Okay, so cute play cute ball. We're going to try to make the 49ers play cute ball. And if we can make them do that, then we're going to beat this team. Because
Hmm.
I expect Micah
Hands
Parsons, my
down.
rookie. I expect my rookie, Micah Parsons, to give Jimmy headaches. And make I expect my team to make turnovers since my team has been the number one team as far as turnovers in the NFL. They're going to have to turn over the ball and then capitalize on that short field. If they can be able to do that, then Cowboys are going to win this game. Now, if it's going to be a tough game where the Niners are running the ball and if they are going over the 150 yards as far as rushing, then I could see still the Cowboys winning this with a field goal. Now, our kicker, granted, has been missing kicks, and it seemed like most of every NFL kicker been missing kicks this season. I don't know what's going on or whatever. But
The
I
new
think
leather
that
in the shoes.
I don't know, but I just think that the Cowboys
The
are not going
laces
to
were
win this
in, you
game.
guys. The laces were in.
The Cowboys are
From
not
the
going to win.
toes.
The Cowboys are going to win this game. The Cowboys are going to win this game, and the only way the Niners win this game is if the Cowboys do not show up.
All right.
That's kind of how the Niners win. They make teams look like they didn't show up. And you remember this whole thing too. The scary part is right. The funny part, right? What everybody discounts and nobody wants to say that Jimmy has because he doesn't have it like we've seen it in San Francisco. But Jimmy has this way about him of like sometimes he just decides, hey guys, we should just go play good right now. And when they do stuff where you're like, no way
Today's
this
the
works, and it
day.
works, and you're like, why did that work? Like why did that you had first down and half an inch and you snuck it 4 times and turned the ball over on downs, but on fourth down and 97 you scored a touchdown. Like I
I
don't
think that
understand how
might
this
be their
happens.
greatest weapon, though, is they're
Yes. Well,
inconsistent.
what I was gonna say was, there's been times before that the Cowboys have let these things do too much. They just do too much. And they found themselves awkwardly positioned.
Okay.
But they also found themselves in spots where their image and their likeness would be saved on digital film and played over and over and over again forever.
Okay, well, I will say this since we're talking about talking trash, but I will say this that when they interview Nick Bosa about going against Tyron Smith, he said, yes, Tyron Smith, he has a Hall of Fame career, but he had a Hall of Fame career. He has you can
Have
beat
you
him,
have, have
and
you
I
ever
love
seen
to see.
have you ever seen Nick Bosa? Have you met him before? Because I don't know if you remember, like when he got drafted, there's that whole like, man, this guy's an arrogant prick. Been an arrogant prick the entire time. Like this is not like the reason why it's not a big news is just because like somebody being like, Tommy can be an asshole sometimes. Like yeah, no, everybody knows that now. Like it's nothing. It's like okay,
Well,
did you
hey,
just meet him yesterday?
okay, well, he's gonna meet his match. He's gonna meet his match because I'm gonna love to see him try to get to Dak Prescott going against Tyron Smith because he's going to
And
eat
if
his
I would
words
just say, I hope that your team doesn't have that concern. Now, here's the reason why.
as a
Because
fan.
everybody gets in there and it's like, well, you make sure you shut down Bosa. And then they forget about those other guys like Armstead, Jones. You get the idea. Like you kind of got one more. You got more than one to worry about. Believe me, you can beat him one on one sometimes. You're not gonna beat him one on one all the time. It's just good players. He's not gonna win one on one all the time. This is just how it works. But the key of the Niners defense is that defensive line.
Mhm.
If you've got all of them, if you can keep all of them in check, you can pretty much run the defense. But you let one of them start having one of those games.
Okay, so I'll take your three defense, and I'll take my offensive lineman with Tyron Smith, Pro Bowler, Lyon Collins, Pro Bowler, Zach Martin, Pro Bowler. So I
Yeah,
mean,
Pro Bowler just means the fans voted, right?
they're not going against people who are scrubs, Tommy. They're not going against somebody
They
that's
they haven't been going against scrubs all season.
so hey, well,
And when it comes to offensive line, I'm gonna tell you, don't bring your offensive line up. We grew up with the offensive line. And this offensive line is not even a shadow of the offensive
Yeah, I
line.
didn't say they were the great. I didn't say they were the Great Walls of Dallas. I just said that they're pretty good, just
Wait,
like
did you say
your three
Walls?
defenders. The wall.
Oh, Wall. I thought you said something else. I'm sorry.
All right. Let's see how this game plays out. It'll be interesting either way. I think one of San Francisco's weapons is the fact that they are inconsistent, and you just really it's hard to know what you're going to get from them.
I've never heard it put that way. It's one of the weapons.
I mean, it is though, right? It's like I don't know what team we're playing this weekend, so how do I come up with a game plan? And I think it's like you said, are there early indicators of what team you're playing, or do you find out at the end of the game based on whether you win or lose? Because it's kind of late at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you'll know
Um,
with it before the first quarter's over. The answers will be answered. Questions will be answered. Answers will be questioned. One of the two.
Yeah, hopefully the Cowboys are up by 28.
in the first quarter. Okay, yeah, that's okay.
Well, that's even scarier though, because get up by 28, but there's still three quarters. Then the Niners start to relax and like, well, let's just go out and have fun. And then
Hmm. Yeah, people love to be the underdog, then they have something to fight for. So, all right,
Let's score 50 points, Dallas.
let's move on to Raiders versus Bengals. Sam, what's your take?
This game is going to be a very hard one because you have Derek Carr that's an accomplished quarterback, and then you have Burrows that is playing lights out, and the connection with him and Chase is, I mean, this season is just amazing, and you know, granted the Raiders, if the Raiders play defense, like I know that they can play defense, I think that the Raiders are going to win this game. But if they don't play the defense that they sometimes do not play, then this is gonna Cincinnati is gonna move on to the next round.
And Tommy?
yeah, I think this is. I mean, I picked the Raiders in this one to win. I mean, I think both these teams are eventually be heartbreaks, but today, I think it's going to be a lot easier for your defense to show up and first round of the playoffs than it is for the Bengals offense to show up. And so I think the Raiders defense is going to do enough to kind of let the Raiders offense get into stride. And I see the Raiders winning this one.
All right. Let's see. Tommy, Pittsburgh versus Kansas City.
I'm going Pittsburgh, not because I think they're going to win. I just like Pittsburgh better than I like Kansas City. And Pittsburgh right now is playing the role of Cinderella, right? Like when you look at how they even got into the playoffs, like it was literally like 3 or 4 weeks ago, the Steelers are done. They're not mathematically out, but they're done. It was like you need these 7,492 things to happen in order for them to get to the playoffs. Then you get to Sunday night and it's 7,000, with 309 or 89 or whatever. There's one thing that they need to happen and they go to the playoffs. And then you get into overtime where it's like these jerks are going to tie and it's going to screw the Steelers out of the playoffs. And you're going to have the Raiders and the Chargers going. And then the random timeout of nowhereness that was like,
What's going
what
on?
happened? What, so Raiders win, Steelers go to the playoffs. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like we were like Sam and I were talking earlier this week. Watching the Joe Montana show thing, and it's a good one. And it really talks about where one of Montana's strengths is just the magic, right? It's like athletically, all that kind of stuff. He just wasn't he wasn't the guy when you put the stats on the sheet of the numbers. He wasn't the guy that you look at. He wasn't the big tall quarterback, the big arm, fast, all that. But what he was the one. Well, he just wins. He manages to win with this Montana magic, and like the Steelers have like this Steeler magic right now, which is terrifying because it becomes one of those games where it's like, yes, you're absolutely in the driver's seat. Kansas City, they should win. Everything's going fine. They're going to score another touchdown. Somehow the ball just pops out of his hands as he's on the 3 going in. There's nobody near him, but he goes to stop to pick the ball up, slips, falls, slides to the back of the end zone. Somehow, everybody can't get a hold of the ball except for the biggest defensive lineman that the Steelers have, who picks it up and manages to run back, 100 yards and scores a touchdown. And weird stuff like that keeps going on, but they have that thing about them that's terrifying because, hey, if you can choose between luck and skill, take luck every single time. It's just, we've seen it too much. And the Steelers are that scary team right now where it's like, the world loves their Cinderella stories. And it's like we saw one, remember when the Patriots won undefeated regular season, the Giants, they were all but done. And it was, well, all of these things have to happen for them to make it to the playoffs. And then they happened. And they get to the playoffs. Well, they're here, but they don't really expect much. The way that they won the game, it's just like it's just one of those, like, that was just luck. So I'm gonna take the Steelers in this one just because they seem to be riding the luck kick, and and Kansas City has had their struggles this year. Kansas City is a very, very beatable team, very powerful team, very good players. They've got all of that. Andy Reid is got his team running. They've just been on the other side of the luck side of it where things haven't worked out. So we'll see. It'll be fun to watch, but I'm gonna pick the Steelers.
All right, Sam, what about you?
I'm gonna pick Kansas City. Kansas City, I think is
Logic.
I'm gonna pick Kansas City because they have been playing good ball, but for the last 2 games, they have been very cocky and they have let teams get back into the game. I mean, Denver almost came back on them on the last game, and it's just, you know, it's going to depend on which Kansas City comes to the game. Are they going to get ahead and then get cocky and be like, all right, we got this game, and then let the team back in? Or is Pittsburgh going to play a better game than they played before when they did play Kansas City this season and then got blown out? I expect Kansas City to win. I hope that Pittsburgh wins because it would be good for them to get that revenge back.
All right, Patriots versus Bills.
You know what, Bill Mafia, I am with you. I am going to be rooting for you to beat the Patriots. I think this game. This game is going to be very close. I think both teams have an edge with both their quarterbacks and both their running games. It's it's going to come down to the the coaches' strategy as far as what they're going to do because these teams are familiar with each other. So the first game, the Patriots just ran the ball and Mac Jones didn't throw anything and they won. And next thing you know, the Bills go to the Patriots. They beat them just off clearly because they felt they were better. It's going to be a very close game. I wouldn't be surprised that it comes to a field goal, but I am going to go with Bills.
And you, Tommy?
I'm gonna go with the Bills too. I mean, I think they just have a better team. I think the outside shot for New England is New England's got a better coach, and if they can not allow themselves to get too outsmarted, they'll be fine. They got a better defense. They've got a better, obviously Josh Allen, Mac Jones. Allen's got way more experience here, so less jitters. But the Bills should be able to get this done. So we'll see. But I'm going with the Bills. But I don't think it's going to be close. I mean, I don't think it's a blowout. I just don't think this is one of those, like, this is a 2-score win thing, like 1 by 10, 1 by 14.
Right. Not like 1 point on a kick.
If Harris gets off on the Bills running the ball, then I think it's going to be a problem for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, it will be. I just don't see it happening. It's like, it's just they would have to have some issues for that to happen. But we'll see.
All right, and then lastly, the Cardinals versus the Rams. Tommy?
Who cares? Tell you right now, neither one of these teams, they both earned it. They both got here. They've got the records. They ain't doing nothing. Nothing. The Rams are I would love, in general, I would say the Cardinals are going to go do what they've done for the past month and a half, 2 months, and they're going to go out there and flop. But they're playing the Rams, and it's like the Rams are kind of those teams that which one shows up. Yeah, I say the Rams win this week, lose next week. That's what I'm gonna say for these two. But yeah, these are two of the teams that are like, if there was a game that was the most unexciting to watch and the one that nobody get it, NFC West, brought three teams into the playoffs this year. 10 win teams into the playoffs this year. It's a strong division, but the Rams and the Cardinals are just those two teams. It's like, yeah, they're good teams, but whatever that it is, they don't have it.
They're like,
Like,
these are the two best mediocre teams in the playoff run.
well, like I said, and this is what I was talking about before we look at the Niners. The Niners, you can see them beating Green Bay. You can see them beating the Cowboys. You see them beating the Buccaneers. You can see them beating the Titans, right? But you stretch your imagination. I don't see, especially in the playoff scenario, I don't see either of them beating Green Bay. I don't see either of them beating Tampa Bay. I damn sure don't see the Rams beating the Cowboys. I see the Arizona Cardinals getting lucky. Like, when I mean lucky, it's like they're down by 2, but they got the ball in their 20, and there's 2 seconds left to go, and he throws a Hail Mary, and the pass interference is called on the 15, so they kick a field goal and win. That's what I mean by luck, right? I don't mean like their skills showed up. I mean they had extra players on the field luck. But outside of that, like those teams, they're just not built to do much. So nobody cares about that game. They're not going anywhere. Both of them will be out of the playoffs next week.
All right, Sam, what's your take?
Man, I would have to go with I would say I'll go with the Rams because the Rams have the most experienced coach with them, and I really don't trust the coach of the Arizona Cardinals. So, and plus the Rams, they do have Stafford, they do have Odell, they do have all these stars on the team, and yet they're a 4 or 5 ranked team, playoff team, which is mind-boggling to me. But whatever. I mean, if I had to pick, I'm picking the Rams. You know, it is what it is. And we still have one more game, the Tampa Bay versus Eagles, too.
No, we
All
don't.
right.
Yeah, we do. I mean,
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to go and take the Eagles and do what the Cowboys did to the Eagles last week. It'll be the Eagles' first stringers, and they'll still say, "Well, the Cowboys played the second string, and that's why they did it." And everybody else will look at them and go, "Like, no, it doesn't matter. Your team is terrible. That's why it had you. You were just good enough to get to the playoffs. Outside of that, you're terrible.
It's a
Go
real
away."
the best worst team.
Yes, you are the best worst team. You were in the playoffs strictly because they moved to the extra team in the playoffs. That's why you're in that spot. That is your position. You're the one that doesn't make it.
The diversity hire. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
I have to be you know what? Honestly, when it comes to the Eagles, I shouldn't have any kind of because I'm a sport analyst. I am gonna analyze a chance for the Eagles to win. If the Eagles are able to run the ball on the Buccaneers defense, then they have a shot to beat the Buccaneers. Now, if they're not able to run and they make Hurts throw the ball, then yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to win this game. There you have it. I really don't care. I really don't care about the Eagles or the Buccaneers. I don't care about them teams, whatever.
See,
But
yeah, I don't
I
even. But this
really
is one
don't
that I
care
see.
about the Eagles.
I see this insanity happening. I see this insanity. Tom Brady throws an interception, right? And they're like, "Oh my God, it's an interception!" And that's going to put the Eagles in the spot. They're going to win the game. And then whoever caught the interception fumbles it. Tampa Bay picks it up and runs it in for a touchdown. And it's like, does that still count as a touchdown pass? Because I'm just asking for a friend because that's their luck right there. They have one where it's like, and all the Eagles have to do in overtime is they kick this field goal and they win the game, and it'll be one of those like the LSU Alabama game where they kick the field goal, it doesn't make it. Devin Hessner, you get the idea. He catches it and runs it back for a touchdown, and it's like I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought other things would happen and it would be better, but no. And that's best case scenario.
All right. Well, let's close this up, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. All right. So again, a great, exciting first playoff week of football this weekend. We're excited to see how these games are going to play and what the outcomes are going to be. As a reminder, we do have a promise to get Daniel back on this show after the Eagles and Tampa Bay game. So be on the lookout for that episode when it comes up. Any final thoughts, Tommy?
No final thoughts. It's going to be a fun weekend of football. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. We'll see how it goes.
Sam?
Go Cowboys.
But you should be clear on where they're going.
Victory
in the playoffs.
You know what? I am going to love when we win, so it will be Victory Monday. I can have Martin Luther King birthday off and celebrate my Cowboys win.
See, and
Yes,
I was going to put
because
Ava
those
in
are equivalent feats.
right.
No,
I was going to put
I'm
Ava
just saying
in
it's a joy
Cowboys
to
here,
me.
but I think I'm going to see if I can find a 49ers jersey for her today so that she can root for the 49ers tomorrow and just to wipe that smug smile off of Sam's face.
Yeah, I will say this. I'll leave you with this final thought. My biggest fear, because of the history the Niners and Cowboys have had, like us growing up, regardless of who wins, like, I mean, I get it. The Cowboys win great, Niners win great, but what if the game just kind of sucks and it doesn't bring the old feel to it.
Right.
That's my bigger worry, just to be honest with you.
This is law. Sam's
Also,
like,
I care
no,
about
if
the
the
win.
Cowboys win, it's not going to
I
suck.
call Bears the win. All I care about is the win.
That's because Sam's a homer first, football second.
All right. Once again, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.